What is up, guys, and welcome to another video. We are back in the dungeon. Honestly, I came back here, I'm getting post-traumatic stress syndrome from the last time I was here training with Kevin.
Looking for it. You got 10 more at least. What number? 3. Good. 4, 5, 3, 2, come on.
That was an eventful session. A lot of people asked me how my recovery was after that, and yeah, my legs were destroyed for 5 days, but we're back here now. We're doing some actual, well, proper bodybuilding, I like to say, where we're going to be shifting some heavy weight. I'm going to be taking you through my new split, and this is probably one of my favorite splits that I've done for a very long time. It's going to consist of 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days, and we've got a dedicated arm day. Alright, so I'll talk about that a little bit more in further detail. There's 2 options on that app. We've got a 5-day split, we've got a 4-day split, but obviously I'm doing the 5-day split. So, we're doing the upper today. Let's get started. Right then. First exercise is 1 arm row.
Those plates look like they weigh 50 kilos.
They feel like they weigh 50 kilos, but I love those plates. It's one of the reasons why I like this gym, because every so often you'll just hear the metal clanging on each other and it just feels oh so right. Pretty much with every exercise on this split, I will be spending quite a bit of time warming up, obviously, because one thing that's very different from this one in comparison to other ones is the overall volume is a little bit less. One thing which I realized in comparison to previous videos which I've done on like my full week of training, which I put on YouTube in previous years, is the volume was probably a little bit excessive. I don't think it was a bad thing, but it was probably less than optimal. It was just unnecessary, creating unnecessary fatigue, meaning it's taking longer for me to recover in between sessions. And you know, I was going home feeling absolutely wiped out when there's no real need for you to be completely messed up for the rest of the day after you finish a session. Now when it comes to warming up, obviously the heavier weight that you're doing, the more warming up you need to do in order to minimize the risk of injury. So for those people who aren't really lifting a huge amount of weight, they don't really need to warm as much. Whereas for like me, I spend a bit more time warming up, doing more warm-up sets. So to maximize the efficiency, I'll do literally like a couple of reps each side, short rest, load it up, a couple of reps, and so on until I get to our working set. I'm not going to do like 10 reps for each warm-up set, because I'm going to fatigue myself and it's going to take a long time. Going to be another warm-up set. So now we're on to the working set. And the way it's going to work is we're not doing a crazy amount of repetitions. So we'll get this up and loaded. We're only doing 6 reps, okay? 2 sets of 6 reps. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but when we actually account for how much weight we're shifting, and we're doing 1 each side, that's kind of like 4 sets. So that's going to be enough to do the job, right? So I'm trying to lift as heavy as I possibly can do. And one thing I've noticed just from switching up my approach to doing slightly fewer repetitions, whereas now I'm doing a lot of 6, 7, 8 rep ranges, my strength has gone up massively. And because I'm stronger, I can lift heavier, and it's just had a knock-on effect to me actually being able to maintain my size and reducing the workload. Top us off, baby! Straps, pretty much essential for all the lifts I do. If I'm doing a rowing or a shrug or some sort of a deadlift, I don't want my forearms to fatigue before my back. Nice and locked in. Oh. Nice. Usually I'm aiming for like, I'm not going to complete failure. I want like maybe 1 rep in reserve, like 1 true rep in reserve. Honestly, that felt a little bit on the lighter side. So I'll try and ramp it up. But of course, I'm gonna log this, because this is technically my first week. So the following week I want to improve upon it in some way. But I did 100 each side. So I'll log that for the first set. Honestly, this has been the key for me getting bigger and getting stronger. If you go to the gym and you have no idea what you did the previous week, you'll just kind of fiddle about with different weights, and more often than not just kind of lift around the same week after week, right? Some people say, oh yeah, I can remember what I did the previous week. You can't remember every single exercise, every single weight that you've done. It's highly unlikely. So make a note of it. The following week, look back at what you've done and try and add an extra like 2, 3, 4% on top of that. And that's good going. Monster set. Aiming for 6, obviously, as that's the target on the app. But if I feel good and I've got a 7th, I'll get the 7th out. 6 is the minimum needed. Fuck. 7. Take that. Felt great. Felt great. So that is that exercise done. Now it's interesting because if you're a beginner, you're just getting into this and you're doing like a lighter weight, I would probably say doing 2 sets maybe isn't enough, or maybe it's not suitable, because really for a beginner it's better off for you to do more sets so you can get more practice in, and you're not really lifting enough weight to be doing a significant amount of damage or placing excessive strain on your body. So that's why I would say this split is more catered towards intermediate and advanced lifters. Okay, for beginners, I'd probably recommend doing a little bit more volume, but staying away from pushing to failure. Just focusing on practicing the movement patterns and the execution of the exercises. Bosh. So week 1, there's no target volume in the app, but week 2, 3, and 4, and 5, you've got your target volumes. 2, 3, 4, want the volume to increase. In other words, lift a little bit heavier, and then week 5, taper it down a little bit. It's kind of like a deload week, but when people should have a deload week, it's really dependent upon how hard they've been training, what their lifestyle is like, what their sleep has been like. So some people could train week after week without the need of a deload. Other people might need a little bit of a break in between. But for me, I end up having my deload usually when I travel, because when I travel, probably train less frequently, so I give myself a little bit more rest. And usually when I come back from my travels, I just start a new split and go ham. Right, next exercise, incline press. Now, I was supposed to do barbell on the split, but surprisingly, this gym doesn't have an incline barbell press platform, so I'm going to switch it to do dumbbells. Ideally, if you are going to switch exercises, which you can do, try stick to the same exercise over the next couple of weeks, because if you keep switching, then it's going to be hard to track and progressively overload. Right, it'll be a little bit more complicated. By the way, when I switch, I give you my 2 top recommended exercises to replace with. So for example, if we're doing an incline press of some sort, it's fine to replace with any other sort of pressing movement. But if you really wanted to, let's say for example you had a really good chest, you didn't really want to work on it, you can replace it with a completely separate exercise. But obviously don't switch up the programs too much, because otherwise you're just going to end up following a program which is completely random and has not been designed by me. So keep that in mind. Right, again 6 reps, this time we're doing 3 sets. The biggest ball ache with this is just getting the dumbbells up. Right, big 6. Yes. Nice. Now I'm going to give myself a generous rest between these sets, because you basically want to, particularly if you're lifting this heavy, you need to make sure that you're fully recovered from the previous set. So either monitor your heart rate, wait until it's come back down to like 100 or less, or just give yourself 3 minutes or something. I know some people want to rush through a workout and get it done, but if you reduce the rest period, then you're going to be more fatigued when it comes to doing the following set, and you'll gas out pretty quickly. So it's not a race. Rest as much as you need to so that you can match or improve upon the previous set's intensity. Set number 2. Nasty last rep. Fucking hell. I mean, it's good to have a spotter on that one. But I'm thinking for that last set, I may struggle a little bit. So I might bring it down to 50. So that was tough. But anyway, I'm just waiting for this to drop a little bit more before I start my next set. It was at 140, which would have been a little bit foolish to go straight into the next set on that, because I'm not fully recovered. But this is the thing, like, the heavier the weights that you lift, the more demanding it is on your body, the harder it has to work, which means that it's going to take a little bit longer to recover after doing that set. So the heavier you're lifting, the more rest is required in between those sets. If you're just doing like 15 kilograms, 10 kilograms, you can get away with just doing another set 60 to 90 seconds afterwards. Okay, so that's why, you know, the program you choose and how you follow it is going to be dependent upon your training experience. Right, we're below 100, ready to rock again. Drop the weight to 50 because I want the reps to be good quality and I want to hit that 6 rep mark. That was perfect. So basically the next week, I want to improve upon the volume. So if I can do 55, 55, 55, that'd be great. But if it was 55, 55 and then 52.5, that's still progress. Okay, so little incremental progress makes a difference. So whilst I'm here, I just want to give a quick shout out to Whoop. For everybody who has been watching my videos over the past couple of years, you'll see that this has been firmly glued to my wrist since May 2021. That was when I first gave it a try, and I have not looked back since. I'm a bit of a nerd, really. It's a bit sad, isn't it? Some girl asked me to go around to hers, or like if I'm going out on a date, and it's like 11 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, I could go around. You know, yeah, it'd be nice, but you know, it's gonna like really impact my Whoop score, so no, I'd rather just have an early night, to be honest. It's something that is keeping me on track and holding me accountable, because what I'm doing before I go to bed is I'm trying to ensure that I can get the best sleep, best recovery possible, and I almost gamify it. Okay, I want to see if I can get the best score. And one of the amazing things which they've done recently is they've added the step count feature. This was probably the main thing that was missing. I remember when I spoke to Will, he was the first guy that came on my podcast. Will's the founder of Whoop. I said to him, why do you not have the step count on? And I mean, back then he had some excuses as to why he didn't include step count, but I think he's been peer pressured into doing it. So very happy that is now on, so now I can keep track of my steps without having to have my phone on me at all times, because I was doing that before and it was just a bit of a mess. So amazing device, everybody's using it now, even Cristiano's raving about it. So the Whoop band is only going to get bigger and better. I can't wait for all the new features which are coming out. So at the moment they're doing a massive Black Friday sale, huge discount available, so if you follow the link, you'll go straight to the website and you'll be able to get a massive discount on the annual subscription. So give it a try. Next one, we're going to do lateral raise, but with the machine. Can't beat a good old classic lateral raise machine. Body's fixed in place. Not really much room for cheating. You literally can only do this. So focus on the mid delt. 8 reps. So basically as heavy as we can do for 8 reps. Pretty straightforward. We'll do 3 sets. Heavy. This is more of an isolation exercise. Probably don't need as long of a rest period, so we can just maybe do 90 seconds, back in again. If you don't have this machine, then I would recommend either doing the standing machine or some form of lateral raise with a cable and cuffs. I'd always prefer to do those ones as opposed to dumbbells, but dumbbells not the end of the world. This one's good just because you've got so much resistance at the bottom of the movement. So from the very beginning, you've got so much opposing force on your delt when it's in the lengthened position, which is great. That was only 7. Let's lower the weight. The only annoying thing about tracking everything is really you should be tracking on the same machine. So a little bit of a problem that I face in Dubai, because I go to different gyms every day. I could use a completely different lateral raise machine from a different brand, and the resistance stack will be a little bit different. So this was 49.9 kilogram. If I go on another machine and do 49.9, it might be really easy, in which case it kind of screws everything up. So ideally, try to stick to the same machines, the same gym for every session. And that's what I tend to do. Even though I go to different gyms, each time I go to those different gyms, I do the same routine. So I'm using the same machines. It's much easier to track. Last set, I'm gonna do it facing the wall so you can see my back at work. That was 10 reps. Next one, we're going to do some sort of a hammer plate press. Now, we are literally spoiled for choice here. We have two variations here. We've got another one here, hammer strength, which is great, incline. And then we've also got this one, two there, which are Gimlico. So choosing which press to do is really dependent upon what you're trying to focus on. So for me, I don't know, I look at my chest, I try and assess which fibers do I want to try and grow more. Here, fortunately, there's quite a lot of fibers which have seen some pretty positive growth.
Did this pink towel come with pink gloves as well?
It's not pink, it's orange, it's salmon. From Oxygen Gym in Marbella. Don't hate. Better than no towel, hey? Otherwise the towel police will be on my case. Right, I think this one feels good. Fantastic. Good weight as well. Extremely good stretch at the bottom. That's what we're after. And they're converging. So if you can do any kind of pressing machine where it starts wide and then finishes up with the handles closer together, that's great. It just means you go through a greater range of motion because some of them are fixed and you're just doing that. And the range of motion is limited. But start wide, finish close. Better. Last set. Because there's only 2 sets, I'm really wanting to push hard with these. Don't leave anything on the table. Right, so for me, just there, I've done 5 very difficult working sets on chest. And honestly, I feel like that is more than enough to get the job done. I remember back in the day, I would do a full session training chest, and that is just overkill. It's definitely far from optimal. So I could technically maybe do a few more sets, but for me, my physique, keeping everything in proportion, that is enough. Okay, so we've got 2 more exercises left. We're going to focus on rear delts now. Single arm cable rear delt fly, and then a pull down. So this one, it's pretty good because we isolate one arm at a time, so it gives us that ability to focus a little bit more, get rid of any potential imbalances. You can do it standing or seating. What I'm basically going to do is start off with the rear delt fully stretched. Keep my arms straight, and then pull out to the side.
Let's go inside. So 1.5, okay?
I do feel myself not fully balanced when I do this, so I'm going to do it on a bench.
That's good thing.
Just takes a little bit more time setting up. But obviously, the heavier you're lifting, the harder it is going to be to balance. That's why I never do standing cable flies anymore, because I literally have to lean this far forward just to keep my torso stable. So much better having an opposing force to keep everything locked in place. Definitely more challenging. It's more isolated, that's for sure. Much better. Guys, what body fat do you think I have at the moment?
Pretty shredded.
Next January I'm doing a challenge. I'm doing a 4-week shred challenge, and I'm doing it with all of you. Starting on the 6th of January, on the Monday, for 4 weeks. Okay, so I want you to lock in. I'll certainly be locking in. And see how shredded I can get 4 weeks after the Christmas period. Nice little challenge for myself and everybody else. Lat pull down underhand grip is going to be the final exercise. 3 sets of, what do we have, 8 reps. So again, if it's the first week, you just need to feel it out a little bit. If you've got loads of reps left in the tank, go heavier. If you're struggling to complete the 8 reps, then lower the weight. And then ideally, for every set, you keep the same weight. Or if you are going to switch the weight around, try do the heaviest weight first. And then taper off a little bit towards the final set. We're doing underhand. So with this one, just lean back a little bit. Oh, that was too light. I feel like I waste a set when it's too light. Oh well. Maybe I'll count that as a warm-up set. That wasn't nasty enough for me. Much better. Much better. The way I've designed this split, where it's 2 lower, 2 upper, 1 arm, is because first of all, this phase, I really want to try and promote a little bit more leg growth to make sure everything's in proportion. Realistically, I'm very happy with the mass on my upper body. There's little tweaks that can be made, but realistically, I want the lower body to be just as impressive as the upper body, so we need to train legs twice a week. Okay, and then the arms. The reason why I've added a full arm session is because I fucking love training arms. I just love going to the gym and blasting my arms. Probably would be more optimal if you do have weak arms to train them twice per week. Okay, so the biceps getting stimulated directly twice per week. Same with the tricep. But for me, it's not really a weak point. And then when it comes to core training and calves, I've not added them directly to the split. This is where you need to add it manually, depending upon how many times you want to train calves and core. So if you go onto the top right, tap add workout, search for core, and you've got an option of 5 core workouts to add, which you can either do separately, for example on a rest day, or you can do them at the end of one of your sessions, the least demanding sessions, for example arms. Same thing with calves, you can do it separately or you can do it at the end of your leg day. But I don't really do calves that much, I don't really care about them. But if you wanted to demolish your arms and make them grow, then I would add 2 calf routines to your weekly split, okay? And then just do them when you can find time. Everyone's different, everyone has different availability, so squeeze it in when you can. Bosh. The session was 55 minutes, at least according to Whoop. So we'll make a log of that. Completed, rate my performance, excellent performance. A summary there, wonderful. Whoop, again. 55 minutes, which that was a good workout. Don't have to spend too long in the gym. Just blast through it. Rest as long as you need to in between the sets. But because we're not doing a crazy amount of sets, it's not too bad. So that is this session complete. Honestly, I can't wait for the next couple of weeks staying in Dubai, giving this split my best shot and just putting on a bit of size before the Christmas period. So if you want to follow along, do that split with me, be my guest. And if you are not currently a member of the Thermostat, first of all, what are you playing at? Second of all, if you get involved now, I think you've probably got 24 hours left where you can get 40% off the annual subscription, which is a pretty crazy discount considering everything that is included inside of the app. It's literally like having me as your personal coach in your pocket at all times, telling you exactly what it is you need to do, what exercises you should be doing, how to execute the exercises, along with keeping you on track, holding you accountable, and also giving you some nutrition plans as well. So get involved. Hope you enjoy this video. I'll see you in the next one.